What is up, y'all? Back here, another video. I know I haven't been posting as much, but I'm back and I would like to talk about this. What is wrong with the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community? I get videos and I see posts all the time of people talking about Monday Night Raw, ain't as good. SmackDown ain't as good. And I get it, WrestleMania, the biggest event of the year, it was lackluster, okay? It was not as exciting as previous WrestleManias. I know last year was such a good WrestleMania, and you would think, okay, next year they're going to do better. It's going to be bigger, better, and it's hard. When you think of last year's WrestleMania, the Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns saga, that was really something hard for them to replicate. Also, it was hard for Cody to carry this whole Cena feud this year because Cena was only there through the European tour. And then he was there SmackDown before Mania, which you gotta show up at either Raw or SmackDown before Mania. You just have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But I would just like to say this, right? Why is the internet wrestling community so against what's happening in wrestling right now? I just saw a video of someone saying, "Oh, Monday Night Raw last night was terrible," and he said Raw last week was terrible, which was not terrible. It was one of the better shows. You had Rusev coming back. We got Stephanie Vaquer, NXT champion, versus the women's world champion on Raw. I just don't understand. And then he said SmackDown was terrible as well. Why? How? Are we watching the same thing? The tag team triple threat ladder match honestly would have saved night one of WrestleMania. But here's the thing though, with wrestling. We were spoiled with the Vince McMahon era. Because Vince McMahon was sitting there and we would get Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy versus Chris Jericho and CM Punk on a random SmackDown. We would get Undertaker against John Cena on a random SmackDown episode. We would get Randy Orton and Legacy versus Batista, Triple H, and whomever, Shawn Michaels, on a random Monday Night Raw. And I get it. I really get it. But this is a new regime. This is new. And the thing with Triple H is looking at, one, the health. He's looking out and taking care of the wrestlers. And I do get it. They do look for a lot of viral moments. They look for a lot of viral, very, how do I want to say, very viral moments. I'm going to just put it as that. But the product is it's not that bad. Like, if y'all want to see bad, I want y'all to go look at TNA. Look at what TNA used to be. They used to have AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels. They used to have Bobby Roode, James Storm. They used to have Karma, which in TNA was Awesome Kong. They used to have Valentine Sky. They used to have so much more talent than what they have now. But think about this. The WWE is not that bad. For people saying, hey, this is terrible, this is terrible, this is terrible. You don't need, every Monday Night Raw and every SmackDown is not going to be that good. For the past 6 months, even before the Royal Rumble, people were like, this is terrible. Raw was terrible. SmackDown was terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. Do you expect every show to be that good? Like, let's be real here. There's 365 days in a year. 2 shows a week. There's 4 weeks in every month, which means there's 8 shows that they do outside of the pay-per-view, right? Raw, SmackDown. Do you think all 8, every single month, are going to be good? And if you believe so, I advise you to not really watch wrestling. Because anybody remember Roman's big dog era? The era that everybody hated? I didn't hate it. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Does anybody remember how Dean Ambrose was treated towards his end in WWE? Me too. Anybody remember Dolph Ziggler? I think it was Dolph Ziggler and somebody else pouring dog food on Roman Reigns. Do you not remember Dean Ambrose asking EC3 where EC1 and 2? Does anybody remember any of those moments? Now, I will admit the Dean Ambrose segment with EC1 and 2, that was pretty funny, but it wasn't something that's like memorable, you know? What makes everybody think in the internet wrestling community, the IWC, that every show needs to be judged? Like, what I do, I watch 2-3 shows, and then I say, hey, I'll watch 2-3 episodes of Monday Night Raw, and then I go, hey, you know, this show was good, that show was bad. This show, this past week, was pretty good. It wasn't nothing too exciting. And it's because Vince McMahon spoiled us as kids. When we were kids and in our teenage years, Vince McMahon would have Kurt Angle, Batista, and Triple H in a triple threat match. Possibly a WrestleMania match. But no, we got that. And if you were a teenager or watching wrestling from 2000 to 2007, you would get, I don't know, Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels on a random SmackDown. You would get John Cena versus, I don't know, Rey Mysterio. You would get certain matches time and time and time again, and it would just be great. But the thing is, it's not Vince McMahon's era anymore. Because Vince, as much as we love Vince's booking, Vince was running his employees into the ground. Look at Kurt Angle. Look at Shawn Michaels' eye. Triple H had to stop wrestling because of a heart condition. And I don't know if anybody remembers Randy Orton. They asked him in an interview, what is different between Triple H and Vince? He said, I love the Triple H era because it lets me be with my family. He's worried about us, and he's really doing what's best for the interest of the superstar. Not only that, Vince, with Randy Orton, he was having back issues. And guess what? He said, hey, I need time off. My back is killing me. I need to go get this taken care of. And Vince, being Vince McMahon, said, hey, Mother Nature gets us all. What do you mean Mother Nature gets us all? You're not the one out here doing this. So therefore, I don't know what you're talking about, Vince. But hey, guys, I need the internet wrestling community to not be as critical. Like, stop being that critical, okay? Like, I get it. Being critical of WrestleMania, I get it. But every single show is not going to be good. Like this yesterday. Yesterday, we had Io Sky, actually, no, not Io. I'm not going to talk about that match. We had Rhea versus Roxanne Perez. That was a pretty decent match. That was nothing too bad. And not only that, we got who's possibly Jey Uso's next opponent, Logan Paul. And when you think about it, that was a good choice. Now, I'm not the biggest Logan Paul fan. Please do not come over here and bash me for that. But Logan Paul has won a mid-card title. He beat AJ Styles, who is a legend in the wrestling industry, not just WWE. He could be a legend in Japan. He could be a legend in TNA. He can be a legend in WWE. He could go to all 3 Hall of Fames if he wanted to. That's AJ Styles. And he beat him. He now is possibly in the world title picture. And that video that I seen of somebody saying, hey, Monday Night Raw was terrible. Can I just add something here? He said Sami Zayn is not on the same level main event scene as Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. The same Sami Zayn that was booked to beat Gunther last year, even though Gunther was giving him and Chad Gable hell. Same Sami Zayn that main evented night 1 of WrestleMania with Kevin Owens against the Usos. We're talking about the same Sami Zayn that had that unsanctioned match with Kevin Owens that was really good at the Elimination Chamber. That Sami Zayn? Or does he think this is still NXT Sami Zayn? Because I think Sami Zayn adds a little bit more story. And the guy in the video was thinking, he was in his comment section saying, oh, well, Sami Zayn shouldn't replace Roman and Punk. I don't know if he knows exactly how things work. He is not replacing them. He's not. And the fact that he's not replacing them, he's just adding to the story because he's good friends with Rollins. I don't know what more you want. But it is what it is. And I just want to say, before people criticize every single show, I would like for you guys to say, hey, I've watched the past 3 shows. And if you say, hey, I've watched the past 3 shows and they've all been lackluster, that would be fine. But every single week does not need to be judged every single week. That's all I gotta say. Now, I've been watching wrestling since 2007, I believe, 2006. I want to say probably 06, 07. So it's probably like 5, 6 years old around that time. No, 2007, 2008. So it's probably 5 or 6. I've been watching it for almost 20 years now. Every show is not that good. If y'all want to see terrible wrestling, go and watch 2016 Monday Night Raw and SmackDown to 2019. And not only that, 2016 to 2019, Raw and SmackDown weren't even the A shows. It was NXT, Black and Gold NXT. Gargano, Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa, Shinsuke, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, which I don't think around that time they were Black and Gold. They were in Black and Gold, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But Finn Balor, I'm just saying, Asuka, NXT Black and Gold was the A show. So I just want to throw that out there. IWC community, please, please, please stop being so critical. Now, I'm not saying don't critique it. You can critique it, but give it a shot first. You know, WWE nowadays likes to do this long-term storytelling thing, which I get it, but it takes time to tell the whole story. So, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if I'm wrong or right in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.